I drop today. Oh, good. Already in the red. Not a good sign that it does that right away. $59 frames right off the bat. Nothing since. Don't you do that again. Don't you do it. He said, knowing that it would. That it totally would. Because my connection loves to drop frames. That's its hobby. Can't get enough. That's the only thing he wishes to do in life. Oh yeah, I forgot that these two were right next to one another. Super weird. Ray, what do you look like? I still don't know what chess piece it is. I have your helmet now. Never noticed that Frey has, like... I guess that's yellow eyes. Like, really light yellow. Good for you, Frey. Which, by the way... For no one. I guess for people that watch this later or something. I have noticed that in the journal entries for Frey, in the journal entries for Frey, nah, it's over here. In the journal entries for Frey, for the here we are, okay. Then for the journal entries of Frey, it refers to Frey as being a woman. Yeah, she is intrigued when you tell her the voice you heard. It does that through the whole thing. Which clues me in that something is going on with Miss Frey. Something unusual. Okay, Stormblood time. Alright. He said, explaining for no one. Because like 2 people are here. Hello, 2 people. Oh! Oh! Doesn't feel good. I think I can feel a cavity between, like, my 2 back molars. I think. It's hard to tell with those. Which has made me more leery of drinking soft drinks. He said, as he opened one. But that's why I thought about it. It's not a big deal. First I'll get this Machinist quest out of the way. Actually, this is the start of Stormblood Machinist, I think. So in theory, this could be better than what Heavensward was, which I did not show on screen. Well, I showed the first part, but not the later parts. Are we clear? Must I repeat myself in simpler terms, or simple terms? Make sure my levels are okay. 71 frames. That's not bad. Dropping 71 frames is not good. But it's not too bad, for me. I expect very little from your low-born riffraff. If you wish to serve Ishgard, then know your place, and keep well out of our way. This is kind of strange if this is supposed to be the beginning of Stormblood. Like Stormblood Machinist. Because that would mean that this would all have to occur after you've gotten through with the Heavensward stuff. And by this point, everyone likes Hilda, or should anyways. Esther Bluebell. This should not be happening. You know, I guess telling Alex's boss was around. Little Bird told me you'd be on your way. Yeah, and I'm Ishgard's savior already, apparently. And also this guy showed up. Whose name I can't remember, because why would I? And also because his name is Mushmouth. And you must be... Rostidistithol. I'll warn you right now, the watch is a rollout. That used to form... Oh yeah, he's here to train them, I think. And you'll need to work 'em hard before they'll count for more than cannon fodder. Work 'em hard, ye say. I do things the pirate way, lass. I'll have 'em pissing blood? Oh my god. And wailing for their mums by first bell. That's not how pirates did things, though. They were well known for being free-loving people. Like, that's the reason why they were pirates, because they didn't abide by laws. And they enjoyed the open sea and fucking each other. Maybe not the last part. We'll see about that. I don't know about Limsa's back alleys, but the Broom's not a place that suffers with Wilton daisies. What my lot lack in skill, they make up for in spirit. I like a challenge. Now tell me more about this watch of yours fitting Ishgard's defenses. I will be so glad when it gets to be winter. What month is this? It's the beginning of August, isn't it? Okay. October is the best month. I fucking love October. I cannot wait for October. If I ask you which month is the best in the year and you do not say October, you are wrong. You just are. That's a fact. Seeing a good chunk of the Temple Knights have been marched out to Alamigo, the streets are a bit thin on soldiers. That's where the watch comes in. We've been set. Oh, okay, I see. Set an independent operation until now, but the house is what to put us on the payroll. They mean to use our numbers to plug the holes in the walls, as it were. Why are they? Oh yeah, that's fine. Most of the actual military force is at Alamigo because of the weird conspiracy attack that what's-his-face... What was his name? Ilberd? Mildred? I don't think it was Mildred. But he did that thing. And the best part is we get paid to do more was for not according to person's food and rallies. Okay. I bet the merchants, God, they just go on forever, don't they? They ain't keen on the idea of commoners being honored and organized. Only way they shut those bastards down is by convincing everyone else that the watch is something worth keeping. But if we mean the prove ourselves, we need the proper equipment and training. This is why we most of the calling we began, we've been begging the Lord Helonarte. Now we have firearms and 2 clever blighters to teach us how to use them. Okay, mission go, please. I have heard enough. Yes, thank you. You can't properly protect folk what don't recognize your authority. Just do as old Rosenthal says, and we'll soon teach them bastards to respect ye. What's that? Like, he had no expression on his face. He's just like... That's all he did. I'm concerned about him. Here's what we're going to do first. Gather a crew of you finest lads and lasses and slap a name on them. I'm going to get them naysayers to sit up and take notice. What, you mean elite company like the Dragoons or the Heaven's Ward? I reckon a good name might impress them with a high barn, but I'll be buggered if I can think of one. I know. We'll call them the Crystal Braves. How about... If you can't even say it correctly. That doesn't even make any sense for him. It's supposed to be Hilda's Hounds. What's it called? Transliteration? I can't remember. But whenever there's syncopation with the sound of the consonants. He doesn't even use the H's when he talks. It doesn't make any sense for him. Hilda's Hounds rolls right off the tongue. You fuck. Thank you, Hilda. Oh, you mean Hilda's Hounds? You miserable mush-mouthed turd? Well, I do like the sound of that. What do you say, lads? Yay! As soon as they've picked a crew for the Ounds, I'll start teaching them the basics. Then after they've had a chance to learn barrel from stock, you can come back and test their skills. Unlike a fair division of labor. Use your gun to shoot them. Whoop them in the shape. Yeah, okay, I get it. Alright. What a grand quest this was. Fantastic. Next one is level 63. I'm fine. Requirements for undertaking is reviewing your journal. Good. Cool. What am I right now? I'm level 72. And good news, I got Dark Knight up to 60. And since Dark Knight is up to 60, I, in theory, should not have to worry about hitting a barrier every time that I try to do their quests. So we're good on that for a while. It's a pretty character. Good use of colors, whoever you are. Hilda has a favor. Please shoot us. Train us with bullets. There ain't much to test yet. Things are coming along, but progress is bloody slow. Now one of these buggers has the flair for the irons what ye or Joy showed. They suck. We best let them go back to the different favor asking you to watch spend test for standing guard at the Temple Knights. Whatever. Ceremony's important. Then Hunter was make this his duty. Okay, get back to favor. Why are you sitting on it? And it's been coming along, shooting. The representative of the Temple Knights is the kind of bloke that gets the guy from the first scene. Has me itching to shoot him in the teeth. That's rough. Yeah, I heard that the 60 to 70 stuff, for some reason, is kind of poopy buttholes. On everything, too. Like, main quest, all the job quests, anything involving levels 60 to 70, which tells me that something was going on during that time frame. Pompous bastard by the name of Muscadine. If you're there, I might just be able to keep my trigger finger under control. Thanks, Dusty. I appreciate the support. I'll see you at the congregation then. Good. Good. Alright. I'll get to you eventually, Frey. Frey, sweetie. Did you guys know that Frey's a woman? It's true, according to the journal entries, anyways. Oh. So Frey is using that. I do the same trick with the little skirts. Because none of the waistcloth sort of leggings have that with them for whatever reason. None of them continue the tunic all the way down, so I've actually been using that exact model on some of mine. I think in order for me to use it on mine, I will... on my Dark Knight, I will have to, yeah, okay. I'll have to get to level 63, I think. Which I'm only at 60 right now, so... Later. Alright. Since it is a monthly upkeep game, I've been trying my best to blast through it as fast as possible. One, not to spend money, and two, to get it out of the way so I can actually get back to real work. I was not informed. What's wrong with his... Oh, he's wearing something. Dusty's here's my advisor. I trust her advice a damn sight more than that of a certain empty-headed, stiff-backed blue blood. They're gonna fuck. No, they're not gonna fuck. I will not dispute her place at this meeting. In fact, I would be far less inclined to entrust this duty to a certain foul-mouthed, disrespectful commoner. No matter how tight her ass. Or she not accompanied by such an advisor. I don't fucking care. Dusty doesn't care. My apologies for the interruption. Sir Muscadine, I bear urgent news. Say your words. Use your words, son. Sir, a thief has breached the vault and stolen the sacred blade Runting. Not hunting. Runting. A runting Runting's the sword what's used to dub new not who cares? Or so they tell me, but this place is crawling with guards. Hard to imagine how someone even managed to get in there, let alone filch anything. The first Machinist quest was just a long stream of a blue blood guy doesn't want the commoners armed with guns, so he's intentionally fucking over his own missions in order to make you look bad. I hope that they don't do the same goddamn thing. And like Muscadine's is fucking things up for no reason. The treasury door is secured with 7 different locks. Sentries stand vigilant night and day. None can approach without notice. They were struck senseless. Find treasury helping our value, but okay. Took place the span of a few minutes. Had a plan. Only fronting was taken. The loss is a prominent symbol right before the ceremony. Bodes Hill. For this. My hounds might be able to help you there. They're the best the watch has to offer, and I reckon they can keep their gobs shut. That thing he's wearing is... No. Don't wear that. That's bad. Don't do that. Don't wear... That has no... that has no functionality at all. Like, even as something that's meant for aesthetic purposes, it's pretty stupid looking. Your ceremonies are time to shine, so we've a vested interest in seeing... So they're not actually involved yet, so I guess it can't be that, thank goodness. There's no harm in getting on Sir Amric's good side, neither. What say we look into it? Do as you wish. With Dusty's assistance may help your mob of commenters. We'll see some modicum of success. Now, if you excuse me. They've already been over that there's no such thing as commenters. Like, that's the big revelation in the Heavensward story, is that everyone has the exact same blood. So this idea that there's a separation of the two makes no sense. But then again, I guess if they've been living as commenters for all this time, then their behavior would still be the same. So, prickly bastard, you think he'd show a bit more bloody gratitude. Anyways, enough of that. We've restored the vine. Ready to put on your Inquisitor robes? Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go kill things. Perfect bloke to talk. Oh, don't talk. No, kill. Kill! I know a knight who took part in the raid on the vault a while back, and he just so happens to be a captain of the Treasury Guard. Let's head to the hopla and see if our man's about. Off she goes. She has pretty hair. Good for her. Where is it then? Oh, okay. Top row. Tribunal. That'll work. Alright. I was thinking the other day about the nature of the combat in this game and how you could really improve it, more or less. Not within the game, but just like general concepts. Specifically, I was thinking about Red Mage. Because I was thinking about... I remember whenever Guild Wars 2 came out, of course I don't have a high opinion of Guild Wars 2, but the discussions at the time were relevant in regards to how to improve Guild Wars 1. What? Need stuff in my pants. Thanks, Super Sin? Oh, Sim, okay. Super Sin. Super Sin must be terrible. They'd be like murder, but you spit on them, too. I was thinking about Red Mage specifically, because Red Mage is probably covering too many things. At the time, whenever Guild Wars 1 was ending its life cycle, and Guild Wars 2 was starting development, or was in mid-development, technically, a lot of talk was... Because in Guild Wars 1, it was not like a game where you could move around. I don't think you could jump. It's hard to remember. I don't think you could jump. And... like, trying to make it a little bit more action-y without turning it into an action game was something that was important at the time. So a lot of discussion went into things like creating more player agency on the field, making sure that if you see something coming, then you actually move to avoid it, and, you know, things like that. Making sure that it's not just a game of you just looking at numbers and pressing numbers, which is what 14 does. 14, you do have to move, but for the most part, it's very focused on keeping your eyes down here instead of up there, like looking at the screen. It's less action and more composition. Until you expect it. But I was thinking about Red Mage specifically because Red Mage is a good example of them trying to do that. Because the idea with Red Mage is that you're moving in and out of combat. And I really like Red Mage. I've always liked the idea of Red Mage, but they never quite have gotten it right because of this. The original premise of Red Mage was just there's white mages and black mages. How about something in the middle that can use both skills at the same time, but not the end-game stuff? And that's been Red Mages for almost its entire lifespan. Whereas 14 did something right, and that it's not just that. It's more it's an incredibly versatile class that doesn't like dead end itself into one thing. It's more about trying to be as versatile and responsive to what's happening on the field as you can be. And to that end, there's a system where you generate a resource that you expend by going into melee and doing a melee sequence, and then you get back out. Which I personally don't really care too much for in regards to 14, because 14, again, is not action-focused, it's very number skill-focused. So, something to bear in mind after I get done with this, I guess. Material evidence from the scene. Wow, look at this! All 7 locks on the treasure... Is she, like, reading a report? Is that what I'm supposed to be looking at? All 7 locks! Ah, I see here. The treasury door were destroyed and the scrap of metal was found lodged in one of the keyholes. Okay. The impacts crushed it all out of the shape, but it looks like a bullet to me. Our culprit's wielding some sort of firearm. A firearm, did you say? Is he gonna show up? Oh, okay. Some lady. Amazing. Some weird-looking lady. Oh, okay, here we go. Has there been another crime committed at one of those horror... Yeah, here we go. It's just this again. Okay, I get it. About the gods who sleep at night, revolution. Might you be another crime? Tales, threat of dragon love and heretics. Dreadful, dreadful. Knights must honor the... Look at me, become positively flesh retirement chamber. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Fortune Heaven returns from Highborn. It's coming in citizenry. New bullet. It's okay. That bow is a little bit overly... What? Okay, whatever. As much as I'd like to ignore her later ship's battle, and it might be worth looking into the rimmer that's banded up near Hemlock. Treasure run to coincide a couple of the leads to follow. Okay. Take the bullet to what's-his-face. Come join me. Okay. Yeah, I get it. That's what I said in regards to 14. Like, you can't do any of this stuff. Like, 14, too many things are heritage-driven because of 1.0. So I understand a lot of the mechanical problems that they run into. And it seems like with every patch, there's always something that they go back and fix that is obviously like an old 1.0 problem. Of we couldn't get around the scripting problem at the time. And it's just taken them years to get over the engine quibbling that they've had to go through. So I'm not directly saying this is what Red Mage or something should be. Which actually... I'm not saying that's what it should be. I'm just saying this a good... example to run through this. It's been a while since I've actually used Red Mage. Oh, by the way, I did enough PvP to give Dusty a new haircut. So this is almost the exact same thing that she happened before, except now it's wavier. She's prettier. Look at that. He has little beads over here on the side. She's a pretty lady. Okay, anyways, what was it? Oh yeah, Red Mage. So with... like I was thinking about this in general. Red Mage, the way Red Mage works in 14 is you do these really long spells. And then once you cast one spell, you can double cast whatever you want to after that, and it comes out instantly. So something like this has a really long cast time, 4.8 seconds. But once you cast one spell, you can double cast, and it'll just do it instantly. So that's the way that they want you to do this. Cast something that's kind of fast, but weak and otherwise useless, so that you can cast the big spell afterwards. Not my favorite part of the system. It's interesting, but it's not my favorite part of Red Mage. But point being that generates like white and black resources, and once you get up to like 80 or so, that's a good cutoff point. You can start using these skills down here. This is your melee skill stuff. And that drains resources from this as you use it. And in theory, this should be your big burst thing that you do. It really doesn't do all that much damage, in my opinion. It does do damage, but it's not like you're doing monstrous amounts or anything. You're not a black mage. But, you know, whatever. It's number-driven. The things I actually like about Red Mage is double cast is sort of interesting. But it's more so just being able to move in and out. Like this, I love this skill, anything that's like this. And I love this skill. Like being able to go in and then use another ability to jump all the way back out. I fucking love doing that. That's my favorite part of it. And I love the idea of using magic whenever you're far away, and then like building up resources back and forth, and like using melee attacks in the meantime. My ideal would actually be to be doing this constantly, like moving in, doing some melee strikes, and then whenever the monster turns to hit you, you jump backwards. And you should be doing that like every few seconds, just back and forth constantly. But that's more action-oriented. You can't do that in 14. And I was thinking about this, and I thought, well, that would be more building up magic resources like MP by doing melee strikes. Like, it would work in reverse. Instead of casting things to generate a resource in order to expend on melee moves, you'd use melee moves in order to generate a resource to use your most potent magic abilities. And the more I thought about this, I realized this exists in a game, and it's going to be the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It works almost exactly the same. Like the way that you see the combat in that game of moving in and like doing some melee hits, and then your ATB comes up, which is essentially what that is. And you pop back out and use like magic or limits. That's what that is. Like that's what I want. So I said all that just to say I'm excited to see the remake, specifically because I think they might be able to do the ATB justice in that realm of possibilities, I guess. So that's my little story I wanted to tell. Go down to Sky Steel. Where the hell's... Over here, okay. I never go up top, so I don't know what's up here. Yeah, that is weird. There's not really damage types. There's so many things that are really strange about 14, and I think most of them just come down to 1.0. Like, it's always 1.0. Which kind of gives them a free pass in a lot of ways. If something is weird, it's 1.0. 1.0 did it. What is that? Oh, right, I'm not... I forgot. I'm still walking around as Red Mage. No, oh, I have two of these. Oh, yeah, this is... A thing that I did off screen was I started on the Relic Quest stuff, but I got to the point of this, the toughening up part, where you have to do... I did one dungeon, and I thought, that's weird. It wants me to do another one? And then I thought, wait a second, I'm gonna go see how many of these there actually are. And I went and looked at the list. It's like that big. Like, you have to do so many dungeons. It's like a good day's worth of work. It's like, assuming like 20 minutes a dungeon minimum. It would take probably like a good 4 hours to be able to get it done. So I'm just going to get something up to level 80. That way I can unsync everything and just run through it that way. I tried doing it on Paladin at like level 60, I think I am on Paladin. But it was still taking way too long. Machinist. So I just had to give up on that for the time being.
Amazing.
Boop. And to top it off, that's not the last part of the quest. There's like a lot of things after that too. So, like at this point, this isn't one of those problems with MMOs. That quest existed during a time period in which there was nothing else to do. So everyone was real excited to do all this stuff, to get a legendary weapon that was better than anything they could get otherwise. And it had particle effects, ooh, pretty MMO. But at this point, any weapon that you get from this is going to be weaker than stuff you can just get normally. Like every weapon in the game that you can get via this method is garbage compared to anything else you can get. There's just no point. There's no point at all. This is a complete waste of time to get a weapon skin. Because effectively, this is the only thing that's the only reason why you would do it. And most of the legendary weapons look like garbage. They're too gaudy. Like, a lot of them, you can't even see a weapon anymore. It's a single particle effect. It just makes you look like a clown. Some people like that, though. Oh, yeah, I was going to scroll up and see that. I kind of wonder, after they are done with this game, which it'll be a long time, from what I gather anyways, because I think its popularity is still going up, and this does finance a lot of stuff that they do in regards to other titles, so there's no reason to ever drop it. So I wonder that once they finally do get done with this, or they move on to another project at least, like if they close 11 or something, will they actually keep trying to use this engine? Because that's a mistake. Like, Bethesda's doing that right now. That's their problem. They keep trying to use the same engine because this is what we know. There's so much tribal knowledge in regards to this one thing, and we're installed with this one thing that we use, that we can't move away from it. Which has slowly poisoned their studio, and it's ruining all their games now. And with 14 specifically, 14 is like it's running on this doo-doo engine. So you have to wonder, is it going to poison future things if they tried to make another MMO? I thought about actually playing Final Fantasy VII on stream, but so many people are doing that right now, there's no point. I actually was going to do that whenever I first got this computer, and I even had it installed and everything. But I just didn't have the time, because I was working on so many other things. Is someone leaving a message? Some stupid bot. I don't know how bad this is in other parts of the world, but in America, we have a huge problem with bots calling your house and your cell phone all the time. That one was like some phishing scam, calling the help to help you verify your business with Google. They try all sorts of weird, stupid shit. There's a funny video online of it's not the Daily Show, it's one of those things. I think is the HBO one, the guy that's on HBO. And it was about telemarketers, and they even showed like interviews with government officials getting phone calls from telemarketers while they were talking about it. What's 7's remake running on? I don't remember its name, but it's the same thing that 15 was running on. And I think that 15 is just the same engine that they were developing for 13 Versus. So it's whatever that is. So I think there's a division, there was a branch at some point between 11 and whatever their main proprietary engine was. Oh. This is certainly the remnant of a bullet fired from close range, but more than that I cannot tell you. It may have been made right here in the manufactory, but honestly there's a little difference between our ammunition and the bullets forged in Linza La Minsa. They do use guns, don't they? That's weird. I'm sorry, the deformation makes it impossible to identify an origin with any degree of accuracy. Not for you, but maybe Batman will have something to say about that. Well, that was really informative, wasn't it? Yep, that's a bullet, all right. He gave us no information at all. That looks like a bullet. Yeah, can he tell us anything about it? Nope. Cool. I see why you're in charge. That's real cool. Oh, wait, does it run on Unreal? Maybe it does. I never really thought about it. I thought it was running on something else that was more specific than that. Yeah, that makes sense. Maybe it is just Unreal. Wait, where am I going? Wait, what? What? Why are you out there, honey? Whatever. The Luminous... Oh, yeah, that is what it's called, isn't it? Okay. I think Skysteel's one I have to go to in order to get outside. Wait, some MMOs tried to run on CryEngine? I don't remember that. That sounds like the most harebrained scheme in the world. Yeah, 7R is Unreal. The weird thing about engines, though, is that you can... Well, it depends on how similar they are. Like, back whenever I did, this has not... Well, it has a little bit to do with it, but it doesn't have that much to do with it. But back whenever I did a lot of modding and stuff... By the way, do you like how my chocobo looks? Look at this, sweetie. Back whenever I did a lot of modding and scripting and map making and stuff like that, I played around with... using models from different games and putting them in other games, and a lot of times they use the exact same like rigging technology no matter what the engine happens to be. So sometimes they actually I didn't expect this at the time, but they actually sometimes seamlessly fit in with the exact same infrastructure or whatever you want to call it. Super weird. I've always found stuff like that to be interesting, but I just never had that much talent for it. It's kind of me in a nutshell, I think. I have an interest in a lot of different things, I just don't have the talent for most of them. I've always been very much so a generalist about things. Like, I'm not that good of an animator, I'm not that good of a video editor, for example, but I can combine those two skills and make something on my own without too much of a worry. Bonk. Of course, I get here and she's half dead. Oh, for God's sakes. Oh yeah, I forgot. I love you, Terrell. The other day, I went into a dungeon, four-man dungeon, and the other DPS was another machinist, and all I said was, like, drill, period. And the other guy responded, fuck yeah. Ugh, MechWarrior Online ran on it. Ooh. That did well, too, didn't it? Yeah, but I don't know what in the world Bethesda's gonna do. Bethesda doubling down and saying, we'll improve the engine, don't worry. We're gonna improve it incrementally. No, you're not. You're bullshitting. That's some stupid higher-up decision of, well, it's almost a meme at this point. That'll work in our favor, right? We don't want to spend money teaching all this new stuff about a new engine. People may even turn against us because you can't mod the games as easily anymore. Plus, our entire staff knows all this stuff about this specific shitty engine that we're using. It'll be fine. Just double down on it. We'll make improvements or something, right? And that's it. That's what it is. They're not gonna... they don't actually have a plan. It's just a business decision. It's a stupid business decision. Let's make too much into the ground when the beast coming back management went down. Of course, in the case of 76, 76 was a little bit weirder in that most of the work was done not by them, but by someone they hired out. And they, from what I gather, knew almost nothing about the engine in the first place. So they were basically handed like this trash fire of an engine and said, yeah, just learn this, it'll be fine. We'll just make a quick buck and that'll be that. A leather collar, something wild. And by the signs that someone was here. But okay. Why was she here? What's going on? Why were you here? Why am I here? What was the last thing I'll head out to Hemlock. Why would you go out here? There has to be an explanation for this somewhere. Because as much as I like to ignore her ladyship's babbling, this rumor of a bandit near Hemlock. Oh yeah, I got angry at her. Okay, here it is. Unless you think this some noble lady's fancy, even the traders come to supply their crozier speak of shots echoing in the air near Hemlock. That's it? I heard a trader say that sometimes they hear gunshots near this one location. I use a gun. So she came here and she found a leather collar. And these dogs apparently might be trained to guard the location, but maybe not. This is some lead that we've got. May as well do this. Good, okay. There was one of these things, it was on this tower right there, that tower over there. It wasn't Lookout, it wasn't Prey, it wasn't the other ones that it usually uses. It was like Salute. And that was the first one I ever tried, and I tried it on stream. And I tried it again, it's like, alright, enough of this, I'm going to look it up. And all the sites that I found that list all of them, for some reason, didn't list that one. And I had to, like, keep looking until I found a random Reddit thread where someone actually brought it up. Really weird. How would you like it if mounts could actually collide with stuff? And whenever you did, it like knocked them out for a second. They just fell to the ground. And you took a bunch of damage. You fly on that stupid bike. It just explodes in a fireball. There's a spring in the area where you have to sit in the spring to get it. I can see why they changed it up. Apparently it's even worse in Realm Reborn. I can see why they started simplifying those, because that is kind of annoying. I appreciate that there's a puzzle to it, but it's really not that complicated to warrant the feeling of satisfaction of, oh yes, this, of course. There's no moment of realization, it's just sort of annoying. Oh my god, imagine if you could collide with other players in midair. With mounts. Like, you see... Imagine, like, flying and you see another player and he, like, spots you and he immediately veers towards you, trying to collide with you because you're flying over, like, a high-level area or something. Something you don't want any part of. And you're, like, desperately trying to maneuver just so that this asshole won't careen into you. This sounds kind of amusing. It would, like, enrage me. But it also sounds kind of funny. Did that bullet have a tail to tell? Nope. Ah, that's too bad. I thought maybe we can learn where it came from, at least. Seems it leaves us chasing after this mystery bandit. Maybe I'll head out to Hemlock again and have another poke around. Stick an ear and keep drilling the troops then. You'll be the first to know when they're ready for inspection. I still have not trained these guys. You have a bullet, right? I have a bullet. Did you learn anything? No. At least maybe we could learn where it came from. How would you learn where it came from? Anything that I can think of would involve using equipment and techniques that could not possibly exist yet. Well, magic. It's fucking magic. Of course. Who cares? It's magic. Maybe it didn't come from a gun, and someone just threw it really hard. Like he just wound up and just like fastball pitched that son of a bitch into the lock and it just exploded. Maybe it was a Dark Knight trying to make us look bad. I've Summit to share. Is she trying to say something? I've Summit to share with you, I say. I pulled a scrap of parchment from a campfire. I found what by hemlock on the bits, what bacon, what boat, what extra to the right. Since I'm sorry. Since it was a contract of sort promising. What? I read these things, but they often seem so dumb. I kind of just glance over them. I pulled a scrap of parchment from a campfire. This is like the flimsiest evidence in the world. Some random woman walked by and said that one time she heard about someone from a guy that wandered past her, that maybe he heard gunshots one time from a general area somewhere that isn't near the city. So she went there, almost got killed by wild dogs, and she found a sheet of paper in a fire. Or something. Since it was a contract, so promises the sale of a historically significant blade to a certain woman's merchant, I'll give you a good guess. Okay. So of course everything comes together. Of course. That bloke never gives a name, but he's famous for building a trade empire in the ashes of the calamity. There's rumors aplenty as to why the shifty bugger's so successful, and not a few of them point to a profit made from black market goods. Well, it turns out that this infamous merchant was stopped at a checkpoint on the border. The Temple Knights were keeping an eye out for a stolen sword and reported that the trader. This merchant was stopped at a checkpoint. What do you mean? What do you mean? It turns out? Where'd you hear this from? It turns out this infamous merchant that I sort of. She pulled a scrap of parchment from a campfire, and it was a contract. It promised the sale. How can it have been partially burned and she learned this much? It was a... Why would you burn a contract? Why would you burn it? It's a contract. Why would you even... If you're trafficking black market goods, why would you even have a contract? It was a contract promising the sale of the blade to a merchant.
Amazing.
And this merchant was stopped at a checkpoint. She heard, somehow, on the border, the Temple Knights there were keeping an eye out for that sword, and reported that the trader was seen going for Boulder Downs. This seems to match up with what we read in that contract, eh? It sure does. We need to find that merchant and wait until the thief shows up with the blade. What say you can accounting to come along, right?
Amazing.
Sure. This is the flimsiest of excuses to, like, this. This is a trail of breadcrumbs. It's a trail of rocks that look like breadcrumbs. Now you just hold on there, miss. I took your instructor job, but that doesn't mean you can drag me into the fray to wipe your asses. No one say, shut up, let's go. Shut up and let's go. Yeah, okay, you'll see me there. Alright, shut up, go. Stop talking. Okay, yeah, we're going. God, that happens so much in these quests where everyone just agrees that they're going to do something. Yes, I agree. I will also agree to this. What about you? I also agree. Later on, we will be there. Yes, yes, we will. I get it. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Okay, oh, go south this time. Okay, we're going there. Yeah, it's a good thing that these criminals that steal goods write up contracts promising the sale of stolen goods. Famous stolen goods that they later have to burn because it's incriminating. Fourteen's writing is so weird. 14's writing is really weird because you can tell sometimes they have good ideas, but the things in between the good ideas are often harebrained, or they don't make any sense, or people jump to wild, crazy conclusions for no reason other than they already read the script. Like, that happens so much in this game. Everyone has a copy of the script. There was something in... Like, one of the previous streams, there was something that happened. Where everyone, all you guys in chat were like, oh, Dusty has the script. She knew what was going to happen. It's a good thing Dusty had the script. Yes, this is a motorcycle. This is a birthday gift from Minami. It's pretty expensive too. It's like a $30 like thing on their store. It's crazy, but it does come with like the max speed for whatever zone you're in, which otherwise I would need maps for. So I use it anytime that I have to get somewhere that doesn't have flying in it. Be quiet, fake music. But anytime that I have to fly, it becomes a little too dumb because you can fly with a motorcycle. So I usually switch over to the Griffin after that because I like the Griffin. Okay, what am I doing? We're here. I kind of like this area. It's kind of hard to get around though, but visually I like it. Oh, there you are. Why are we here? Oh yeah, it has a built-in mount music, but I have that turned off. It gets a little bit too repetitive, but I have definitely heard it before. We're walking into a fight. Because it's an MMO, I know we're walking to a fight. Who are you? Are you the... Wait, who are you? Who is that? Some guy? Oh, he... Oh, okay. They're twin brothers that are helping us, I guess. Why are there twin brothers? Hello. Okay. You're brother number 1. You have blue eyes and blonde hair. You're brother number 2. This one has gray hair. Okay, so they're not twins. They're just brothers. This one has sort of reddish eyes. Okay. They're different. They're legally distinct from one another. Everything's fine. Okay. We are here because she heard a rumor from a crazy lady that she heard a rumor from a merchant that said sometimes whenever he was traveling, he heard gunshots coming from a general direction over there. So Helda went over there to this section of the map in an unexplored region filled with heretics, supposedly, and dragons, and found a campsite in some ruins that was guarded by some dogs that were probably feral. And in a nearby campfire, she found a contract drawn up by black market traffickers, supposedly. She doesn't know. And on that contract was written information incriminating a merchant that she heard a rumor about, and the merchant... Like, they could have started at the merchant. Because supposedly the merchant was stopped at the border, and that's what we're here for, apparently. There was a merchant stopped at the border, and I guess that's what this is. Because he was rumored to be in possession of a stolen sword or something. Okay. By the way, I already did the Paladin quest. The Paladin stuff... I started on the first part of the Gladiator section. That's where I'm at. But I did the part before that, which is the Heavensward stuff, I think. And people's main complaint with that one is that they have no idea what's going on at the very end. The main problem with that is that it's so boring because almost the whole thing, there's like 10 or something quests or something, and 9 out of the 10 are just, where could this guy be? Let's go find him. And then you go try to find him and you can't find him. Or, no, you think he's dead or something and you're trying to find information about him. And then at the end it's, oh, he was never dead. And I'm just like, yeah, I know. That could not be any more clear considering how incredibly vague all this has been intentionally. But anyways, at the very end, it's like, it turns out that our crystals possess their own, desire to equalize with one another, to tell who's the superior alpha paladin amongst us. And all of it, like, it all happens at the same time so fast that you're like, what? What's going on? It does make sense, but you have to sort of stop and do what I was doing here and just, like, read all of it and try to, like, parse what the fuck is going on. Because a lot of crazy shit starts happening in that one last thing. Anyways, sorry. We found the merchant, Dusty. He's out there doing a deal as we speak. I thought he was arrested. Whatever. But first we need to make sure his customer is the thieving bastard we're looking for. You don't even know if this guy that you think maybe existed, that maybe has a gun, was the one that could have perhaps stolen the sword. Grab another hound and sniff out the situation. Did the other one leave? Oh, I can't turn the... Okay. You must go to a distant case of... Alright. I shouldn't have stood so close to her. I shouldn't be making out with her. You fucking starting shit with me? She even has, like, the look. She knows that Dusty is uncomfortably close. If Sim fouls that, be sure to give him a good smack across the snout for me. Oh. I was wondering if that guy left. No, he didn't. He's still here. Okay. Vroom. Yeah. T-pose to assert dominance. Alright, hounds, what have you found? What, Hilda, don't trust us, or Summit? Why did... Whatever. After all the drills, reckon we managed a bit of spying. Okay. And there were some people down there. Okay, good. Time to kill, finally. That's the biggest problem. Like, just glancing at them while you're playing, you sort of just gloss over them. But the minute that you have to actually read what they're saying aloud, it becomes apparent how clunky all the dialogue is. I've complained about it every single stream, almost. But the localization team on this really dropped the ball on a lot of things. America, for some reason, has this long history of fucking up Japanese games by trying to force old Englishisms into it. Remember Chrono Cross? Remember Frog? He doesn't talk that way. Like all the these and thous and haths and all this other stuff. He never did that in the Japanese version. There is no evidence of that at all. This is something that they just did. For some reason. They thought, well, he's like a knight, right? So he's got to talk like an asshole. Stop doing that. Don't do that. It's bad. It's bad for everyone. It makes him look stupid, and it's not fun to read, and it really detracts from the experience of not only the character, but the general game. Stop doing it. Are you certain of this? As I recall, the client requested that grunting be delivered, so apparently It just so happened that the lead was right on. This is the guy. The client requested the hunting be delivered directly upon its acquisition. Bandit leader. It's him, guys! And he's wearing my outfit. That piece of shit. Aye, that was the deal. We delivered the sword, but then our client, as ye say, turned around and gave it right back. Wait, what? Someone keeps calling the house repeatedly and trying to leave messages, and I think it's that stupid automated bullshit. We delivered this... Okay, this guy stole the sword. That was the deal. We delivered the sword to who? Wait. They took the sword and drew up a contract with this guy to give the sword to him. But then they also burned the contract so that we could find it. But then our client, as you say, turned around and gave it back? No, someone stole it and then gave it to the bandits. And the bandits are the ones that then, as a third party, are going to... Or the second party, are going to give it to the merchant. So they don't have the sword. Okay. Change the blade and heart or something, I don't know. Can you fence the... Wait, what? They have it? What's going on? What the... Do you have it or not? What the fuck's going on? That was the deal. We delivered the sword, so you don't have it. No. They stole the sword, but then someone else... So this isn't the merchant. They stole the sword. They were going to give it to a merchant, who apparently is not this guy. And then they gave it, and then the merchant gave it back to them. So they burnt the contract. I'm guessing that's why they burned the contract, because they no longer had need of a contract for their black market goods, because that's what you do when you sell black market goods. So the merchant had a change of heart, and now they have the sword with them. Can you fence the thing or not? Can you sell the sword that we have? So we found the sword. And they're the ones that stole it, purportedly. So why do they even bring up the concept of a merchant? And this is like another unrelated merchant. Plus the rumor was about the first merchant. And we're here to investigate him. So why is there now another merchant? Yes, I'm sure that we can come to an equitable arrangement. This is the bloke. Yes, ma'am. He's got the sword. Hilda's getting ready to charge in. We wait here for the rest of the hounds. Nod. I love it. It's just floating in between his fingers. Ah, yes, the sacred blade. Grunting. An impressive piece heavy with history and tradition. It should fetch a fine price with the right buyer. So he... They tried to sell it to one merchant, now they're selling it to another merchant, and he wants to sell it to someone else. Cool. Who could you possibly sell this to? How would they even display it? Like, they can't sell it to anyone in Ishgard, and that's the only people that would care about it. Well, thank the bloody gods for that, now about our share. I got something to... I got someone to share with you, oh, hail ring! Oh, boy, hail you! Hails! We have hosted all this gold, and you are suspect the death of the second blade! Ready! Show you, Quails! Ishgardian soldiers. Oh, he slept it. Get back here, you coward. I don't know how you found this one. I'd be living her alive. I shouldn't be recording this, like, visually. I shouldn't have a webcam for this. All I'm doing is just embarrassing us all. Oh, well, Jesus Christ! Like a whole fucking armada. How many of these fuckers are there? What is going on? Holy shit, there's so many. God damn. I didn't expect that. There'd be so many of them. I mean, it's not really a problem, but wow. Especially whenever they're all armed with guns and they're just standing completely motionless, not taking cover or anything. It's fine, though. It's fine. They're trying their best. Okay. Our tanks are doing a bad job of keeping them all aligned, though. Okay. Now, am I... Oh, he just... Okay. I thought, now for the boss. Bring me out beauty. Oh, it's a sweet baby. I love this general skin of the... Oh, it's just gonna... Oh, okay. It's gonna run right after... Oh, here's more of them.
I see you.
Here comes more, I guess.
Is that all you got?
Alright. It's been a while since I've actually played Machinist. Oh, it's bad news for you guys.
One shot, one kill.
That doesn't apply. One shot, one kill does not apply to this situation. Jeez, what's going on there? I don't... Yeah, I don't have an interrupt on this. I should be trying to scratch myself. So how long... What's the point of that? Okay. Yeah. He left because they hadn't finalized the contract yet. It wouldn't be right. That's not how you conduct business in Ishgard. I should be using... I unlocked barrel stabilizers so recently that I haven't gotten into a habit of actually using it yet. It's one of those core functionality things that actually makes the class work. But it happened so recently that you don't really get into a habit of using it. It takes too long to get, in other words. Oh wait, I do have... Yeah, I do have an interrupt, don't I? Forgot all about it. What, the macro for Heat Blast? I just put, like, this and this, and, I should also put Wildfire on there, too, while I'm thinking about it. Not that big a deal, though. But yeah, it's just that. It's, these two and this skill, Heat Blast. And you just mash the shit out of it, and it just uses all of them. You lose the ability to queue all the skills, but it just doesn't matter. So, did we just, like, completely wipe out an entire... that was like a good... How many guys? MMOs are kind of weird because they, like, deflate numbers of people. Like, whenever you kill 5 guys, it actually was like 50 in real life, that sort of thing. So, I have no idea, but that was a lot of dudes. Like, a standing army of any developed nation during this sort of time frame would be about 1% of the entire population. That's usually what it is, because so much has to be devoted to not only just subsisting, but, like, farmland and stuff like that. So I think the actual numbers for Ishgard would be like, it needs to be way bigger than it actually is, but, you know, whatever. The lads are still after the chief bandit himself. We already killed him. Oh, wait, that's right. He, like, I didn't get to fight him, and he stood up after falling down and then ran off because we just let him, which happens a lot in this game. Well, looks like we've got the lot started. We'll march him back to Ishgard, squeeze him for information, then hand him over to Muscadine. We didn't kill any of them. We shot them with guns thousands of times, and then stabbed them with swords and axes. But they'll be fine. We'll get information out of them. We'll give them some hot cocoa. Whoa! Nice sword! We did it, Dusty. We got the sword back. The hounds have done well, huh? Yeah, sure, why not? The hounds have done well, or fuck you. Which one should I say, chat? He asked, fully knowing what the answer would be. $30 to 50 wild Lalafels, yes. Work harder. Nope. You suck. We can stand and sharpen our fangs a bit, but it won't be long till we're forced to be reckoned with. No. Why are you wearing it? Take that off. There's no denying you got spirit, lass. As long as you stay hungry, rest will come in time. Sorry, hold it, but the leader's gone. Seems the bastard had a chocobo hidden nearby. Oh, rats! There's not to be done about. Why didn't you? I get so. At first, I got upset with all the scenes in this game of your character or other people being like, "There goes the villain. Just let him go," or he's talking. We can't stop him from using the Dragon Eye to turn himself into a god or to summon an ancient being that will destroy all life on the planet. I mean, he's talking. We need to let him finish. That happens so much that eventually I kind of just turned off. Like, that hurts so much in your storytelling. Whenever the characters are just standing there like dumb fucking apes, just looking... Because, well, it has to happen for the sake of melodrama. Eventually, you just stop taking the plot seriously. So I did that, but I kind of came back around to the point where it's so pervasive that it became its own thing eventually. Time to head home. Good job, gang. This is worse than DBZ. In DBZ, there's actually, like, some minor precedent for it. Like, well, he's already so strong, we wouldn't be able to defeat him while he's trying to power up, or something like that. Like, there's some degree of dumb logic to it. That I still don't buy, but it's dumb logic nonetheless. In this, they're just stupid. They're just fucking stupid. That's it. They're just dumbasses. Those who hang above will be like you. The summer will escape. Stop talking that way. What's wrong with you? Why are you like this? When you was falling of bandits, I got a glimpse of Lee's weapon, and I reckon I know where he got from. This is our new lead. While I was fighting, he saw the weapon that the leader was using, and now he thinks he knows where the leader got his weapon from. And that's how we're gonna find him. Not by tracking the chocobo tracks that he left in the snow while he escaped. No. We're going to think that we saw his gun, and assume that because we saw his gun, or his sword, or whatever he was using, that we probably maybe can ascertain where it was built. And then we'll... so that we can go not find him and find another lead that will eventually track back to him. That's how it's going. All you need is super animal shooting. Oh, old habits, okay. Anyway, do me a favor and tell Ilda I'll be taking some time off till I've satisfied me curiosity. So he's not tracking a lead, he's just curious. We can't track his footprints in the snow. That's impossible. Okay, let's go back to Ishgard. Seamless storytelling. Oh yeah, 17 did interrupt a magical girl transformation. Because they were stupidly up there, like, doing a speech and, like, doing stupid little flourishes. We're transforming. Everyone look at us. Look at us. Me. Me. And then 17's like, bam. I love that part. Like, you can bitch about Super if you want to, but it has a lot of moments that are like that, where you're like, yes, finally, thank you. And Goku was like, don't do that. I want to see him transform so they could beat the shit out of me. Because I'm retarded. And 17's like, well, he's retarded. Gotta let him do it then, I guess. Whatever. Not my fucking problem. You want to be stupid, be stupid. And then 17 won the tournament. That was the end of that story. Goku was stupid, and 17 won. Chi-Chi committed rape. That's unfortunate. That's an unfortunate reality. That's not a theory. That's just an unfortunate truth. Chi-Chi is a rapist. Twice. Maybe 3 times. Maybe 4 times. Okay. Hilda. Welcome back, Dusty. Where's what's-his-face? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Jesus. You okay? Taking time off to chase after a hunch? What the hell's is that old fuck up to? Guess we'll just have to muddle along without him. What about you? Come back to Broom when you can. It might as well. And it might... I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a bit curious about it myself, the thing that he's chasing after. What about you? Like, am I curious too? Come back to the Broom when you can, and it might be as... Oh, okay, it might be... We might have information. Okay. Oh. Just stop making them talk this way. It is so hard to parse sometimes. Like, it's somehow easier to read if it's so... Like, if it's what's his name? God damn it. Orianger. If it's like him, then it's almost easier to read, because you know what's coming. You know that it's so nonsensical that you... Like, you're like, well, of course this, of course that. But with this, it's so close to almost being normal speech, while being fucked up, that it actually makes it more difficult to parse, because your brain expects it to make sense like here and here, but then it's like wow, wow. Come back to the Broom when you can, and it might be as we'll have a tale to tell. Just come back to the Broom when you can, and we might have a tale to tell. Like, that's the same thing. Like, personally, what are you wearing? What is this? That is enough out of you, sir. Just... I would much prefer if it was just come back and we might have information. Just, that's all you needed. But if you want to be an asshole, like, do it that way. Don't do it this way. Like this, and not like that. Where have you been, Dusty? I've been itching to open this letter from asshole, and he's addressed it to you. Why do you have it, then? Come on, let's hear what he has to say. No one uses the Moogles for this. No one uses that. Or a kid mind speech anon. Yeah. See, this is fine. I can understand that because I'm like, this word no one uses, that word no one uses, this word no one uses, and I know what they mean, but no one uses them. Oh God! I forgot about the automated accents in Chrono Cross. Oh, those were bad. I forgot. They're so bad. It's an easy way of handling it, I guess. Mystery solved. There was no mystery. You just saw a gun and recognized that it came from somewhere. I took a good look at Naldik and Vimili's... Is that supposed to be Vimili or like a Spanish, like both of them together? Well, there's a Y in it. Then again, Spanish is Y's too. It could be like Vimili's, whatever, stock, and the firearm's one of theirs. Limsa has some bloody strict regulations on the export of firearms. So our bandit chief must have had a back alley supplier. So this came from Limsa. It's not from here. Spend money to travel, in other words. Yeah, okay. He's on the trail. You're going to a place? Outlandish. The leader of hounds, we could be... Ishgar's where the bloody trouble started, and since when have the folk of Broom been content to sit back and let others handle the dirty work?
Amazing.
Okay. Why does she always have like these especially girly stances? Does she like Dusty? Does she want to be Dusty's girlfriend? I hope so. I'll have to teach her what tribbing is. Sorry, I shouldn't say things of that nature. Do not ken my speech anon. Doth not ken tribbing, my lord? Doth not know ken tribbing, my lord. It's so fucking stupid. I'm a dumbass. Alright. I better actually check. Because sometimes they say go here, but it's not actually there. There's like a first step you have to do. Okay. As a native Spanish speaker, you don't know? Cool. I don't know either. There's a lot of things about English I don't know. And I almost speak it fluently. What the fuck is going on there? Alright, drowning winch probably. Guessing. Wearing his headphones always gives me weird neck problems. I forget why it's called a poop deck. I actually looked that up the other day, but I can't remember why. Yeah, I was actually down one. Oh, forget that. Let's go this way. It has something... I know where it is. The poop deck is the... You know, on a ship... Like, imagine like a normal, like, flat-ass ship. Sometimes, with ones that were more recent, but before, like 1700s or something, they had that elevated section in the back, and that's where the captain, like, masturbated. There's the deck that's on top of that. That's where the poop deck is. But I can't remember why it was called thus. I do not ken. It is... It had... Like, there was some rationale to it where I was like, oh, of course it would be called the poop deck. I think it was just because it was the butt of the ship. And, like, we think of poop as, oh, poop. But, like, the word poop actually used to mean something else. And just over time, it became, oh, poop, oh. But before that, it actually made sense that it was a completely different word. But I don't remember what the logic was. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to item online, and I'm going to look up the word poop. Poop. Noun. Stern deck of a ship. So, it is just poop. Poop meant the stern deck of a ship. That's what it originally meant. From Middle French, poupe. I'm sorry. I'm getting crazy. From Old Provençal or Italian papa. From Latin pupus. Poop or stern of uncertain origin. Poop deck. So the reason why we call it poop is because it comes out of the back of the ship. So, this is all it means. It's just the rear. Hello, Hilda. So I sort of had it in reverse. What's that Sarah look for? What are the bloody hells is she doing here? Put your bleed name on the letter and all. Well, you gave it to her. How did she get it? Like, if you were here in Limsa, how did you give her the letter? You would have to have sent it via Moogle or something. In which case, how come I didn't get the letter? What is she doing sifting through my mail? You don't get to complain. This is your fault. I need to see this through. Yeah, okay, whatever. I was aiming to avoid political complications. What, like Hilda's heavily involved in politics? Self-bot, yeah, okay, listen to it, bloke. The bloke most likely to have supplied the firearm is the same bastard what tried to buy the sword. The merchant? The word is a meme, that's basically, yeah. I had it in reverse, like butts. Butts and poop. Am I right, guys? Let's get back to it then. The bloke most likely to have supplied that firearm. So let me get the sequence of events right. The guys that... I don't know who exactly shot the gun, but... Those... How did a shitload of bandits that live outside the city get into the city and break into a heavily guarded vault? A huge band of bandits went into the city. This is so stupid! A huge group of bandits went into the city with guns. Guns specifically to open doors. They couldn't just, like, hack the door lock off or something with a big heavy axe. They had to use a gun that could have just as easily wedged metal into the locking mechanism to make sure that it could never open. But they specifically got a firearm from this merchant. And the merchant bought it here. The merchant bought a gun in Limsa and then gave the guns, maybe more than one, I don't know, to all these bandits so that they could go into Ishgard and then use it to shoot a lock in order to be able to steal a sword. And I'm going to assume that this is just to implicate us, because that's all these fucking plots are. Machinist Quest is just... People are trying to implicate gun violence. But we all know that guns are great. Look, we're in the fucking NRA. This is like NRA's fantasy dream. Like, all the stuff that's happening in politics about guns? No, people are trying to frame us. It's all been one big misunderstanding. It's the people that are against guns that are the actual bad. That's all these are. The whole prior plot was like this. And now it's just doing it again. If we're lucky, we might have an idea where the brigands run off to. I'm minding to squeeze him until an answer pops out. How did you find him? How do you even know? He found out where the gun came from. Did he go to the place and then just say... He doesn't even have the gun! He doesn't even have the gun! He doesn't have it! He just saw... He saw the bandit leader using a gun and then said, hey, that looks like it came from this place. And then he went there and just asked, I guess, hey, did you sell a gun recently? Did you sell a gun? Yeah. Who'd you sell your gun to? The guy you're looking for. Oh my god! We got him now, guys. I'd like to have a word with this band leader. They're trying to be okay. We're on the same page according to me sources. We should find the merchant in Anchored Yard. Let's head over there and get this business over with. Alright, so we found him, I guess. Amazing. But it probably won't be him because that's too fast. Alright, where is he? He's down here. Okay, Aft Castle. Really, Aft Castle? Okay. Great. We got him now. Pure fiction. Our writers came up with that one. Is it possible for a fertilized squid egg to develop into an adult inside of a human body? That's my favorite one from that stupid show. If you, I'm not gonna explain it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then you just don't. A total fabrication. Riker, you got me again with your magnificent japes. Amazing. Timus Riker's at it again. Come at it with japes and steel and defiance. That crazy son of a bitch. That's him? It's the same fucking model. Isn't this just the guy that ran away last time? But this guy isn't related at all. If this is the guy that ran away in the snow from Ishgard and ran all the way back down here while dropping the original sword, I'm gonna have a fucking field day piecing this together. Well, if it isn't the hounds, was it? What can I... So they... I'm just getting here. What can a humble peddler... Wait, what? How would you know them? How can a humble peddler such as myself do for Ishgard's finest? How do you know us, unless you've seen us before? Help us, capture the bandit leader. This is how you handle interrogations. You don't threaten, because if you threaten, then they're more liable to just lie. Yeah. What you actually do is make them feel as though you're on their side, and they will benefit from telling you the truth. I'm but a humble merchant. Surely I would be more a hindrance than help in such an investigation. I'm not saying like that. What'd he say? Oh my god. Those words he's using? If you're not feeling helpful, then maybe I should pay a visit to the Yellow Jackets and mention the firearm your valued customer was using. Or maybe I'll just skip straight to the... Like, does this guy make firearms? If he doesn't make firearms, that would mean he bought it from a place. There's so many, like, levels of separation. Or maybe I'll just skip straight to... So is this the guy... Amazing. Is this the guy that hired the bandits to do the stealing in the first place? If it wasn't, we haven't met him yet. But if that is not the case, then how did they get the weapons? Because then this would be the third merchant that we've run into. How's it feel? Welcome back, Fox Demon. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that this is it. This is what you have to subscribe for. Now, let's not be too hasty. Maybe I can make an exception in this case in exchange for your silence regarding my trade in exotic weapons. What do you mean exotic weapons? They make them here! Anyone could buy them here! It's a land of pirates! Pirates live here! They all have guns! I believe the gentleman in question has a camp at Providence Point in the Central Highlands. Go back. That is where I would look. I believe that the bandit that I gave a gun to has a camp at Providence Point in the Central Highlands. Providence Point, able to start. Go to Providence Point. There's a guy there, maybe. If you'll play us first, you have to see the crabs. You're right, In fact, you ever deal with stolen goods? Oh, they're stolen now? So he's been stealing? He stole the gun? If he stole the gun, then how could he have possibly tracked it back to him? Because the only lead is that he knew where it came from, who manufactured it. So he came down here, went to the guy that manufactured it, and said, what? Have any guns been stolen recently? Who stole them? If they knew who stole the gun, then he would have already been arrested. They would have already known who did it. Let's go. Let's go back to Providence Point. Fuck it. This quest is stupid. Exotic stolen guns. Only the finest stolen guns. Do you ken? This quest sucks. I hate this quest. By the way, how do you like my gun? This gun. I think this is a PvP skin that I picked up. It's a nice gun. I liked it because it was a big-ass revolver. Revolvers are the katanas of guns. Did you know that? Oh no, I'm implicating myself. Look, guys! Wow, that's a scraggly-ass looking wolf. And it has a collar. It has 5 collars. Why do these wild feral dogs have collars on them? Whatever. I'm asking too many questions again. These curs were trained. You can tell by the collars. It seems our merchant was telling the truth about there being a camp abouts. Are you not... I'm guessing he killed this himself. Like, he just saw a dog that had a collar on it, and then he shot it. Okay. That was nothing, I guess. So there is a camp around here somewhere. Where could it be? Wherever could it be? Could it be just around the corner? Could it be around the corner? Could the camp be in this location that's just a bunch of walls? What is this, anyways? There he is. He's just standing there. It's fine. What is the purpose of the... Like, I get that they're like ruins, but what's the purpose of this? It's just a bunch of walls that sort of box one another in, and they have... Like, they have stairs leading up to no floor. No, they have steps leading up to more what the fuck is this? Whatever. Like, this is something... Like, you shoot arrows through these. I forget what these are called. I forget what these slots are called specifically, but these are for people to shoot arrows out of. But that's something that you would see in, like, a tower, like, up there. Not in a wall that's built in your front yard. Whatever. I'm sure that there's some historical abnormality that I'm not aware of. I'm just here. How'd you find my base? His base of a single burning... It's just a single little fireplace, and he's just sitting next to it. This is their base. This is our base of operations. Here in Ishgard, this is where we sign our contracts. In our... Why would you have a lit fire? People can see that you're up here now. Oh, okay. I guess now I have to defeat the kitties. Team Toriyama? Oh my god. I didn't know that was possible. Yeah, okay. I love you, Drill. Alright, come on. I shouldn't have let that stupid cone attack hit me. Paralysis gets on my nerves. Bye, Sweeper. I don't really like that howl of discontent that the Chocobo gives whenever it vanishes. Like something horrible is happening. His base of operations is here in the snow, but he's not going to wear something that's actually warm. That would be smart. I love that his base of operations is just a little burning campfire with 3 extra logs of wood, a small sack big enough to hold like a cat, for example, and an empty bottle of booze. That says it all. And now he just hangs his head in shame. You kill... Look, I don't want to kill kitties any more than anyone. And this idiot's wearing the same shit. I came running when I heard the shots, but it seems you have things well in hand. Yeah, I killed some animals, unfortunately. There's more of you, please don't do anything else, just don't kill me. Stop your blubbering, or please give me the answers Eli craves. What answer is... I don't know. Let him talk. What are we looking for? The reason behind the theft of the sword. The identity of the... Like, I know why this... The identity of the bandit's employer. Like, this... The explanation is so confusing. So there are 3 merchants involved. There are 3. There have to be 3. There was... There was the first one. The first one... The first merchant hired them to steal a sword. Then they went to a second merchant to buy guns that were stolen so that they could unlock a door. And maybe the first merchant told them to do that, which would mean that he knew of the other merchant or something. But then whenever they got the sword, he said, and now I don't want it. And that's when they burned the contract. But the contract was with that merchant. But for some reason, the burnt contract led them to a meeting location with a third merchant who may have been the second merchant as well. Like, they used the same model. I have no idea. So they went to where the meeting between the first merchant and the bandits were supposed to be held. But then they said, no, we don't have anything to do with him anymore. Can you fence this sword? So there have to be 3. There absolutely must be 3 separate merchants involved in this. Unless the burnt up contract was supposed to direct them towards the fencer, in which case they burnt a contract with the third guy for no reason before they even met him. This is... like, whenever you write convoluted bullshit that you don't really care about because you're in a hurry and you just don't care, just to get people to meeting locations so that they can have generic fights during quest lines, this is what happens. Like, if players actually pay attention to what's going on, things just don't make any sense. Because you didn't pay any attention. Oh, this is a jape. So we're looking for the identity of the bandit's employer. I know the reason, because the reason is just they're trying to implicate us again, because that's all these fucking quests are about. So just tell me who the fucking bandit's employer is. Wait, it weren't that black market bloke? Apparently not. I guess he'd have wanted more than just the sword. If you thought it was him, then we already would have apprehended him. Why would you find the guy that you thought was the employer, which would be like the thing that you want more than anything else, and then say, alright, you're free to go. We need to find the bandit leader. So that we can ask him questions about who did the employing, which would be you. But you're free to go. I guess he wanted more than just a sword. Whoa. Them other brigands we captured were bloody clueless. They only knew what their job was, not the who or why. Meaning the whole deal was made through this bastard. Start talking dog, and you might just save your own hide. We use powers, life. That is until the bitch admiral pester bloody law. Blokes like us, though, we ain't cut out for honest work. So we're just criminals. We'd almost drunk through the last of our plunder when that back alley peddler showed up with some overpainted... When that back alley peddler, the guy back at Limsa... So that's the merchant that they got it from, but he was with someone else at the time, so he is the guy. So there are two merchants. Not three. Because the third party is actually someone that was with the merchant at the time, and she was a overpainted wench. Who I'm guessing would just be the dumb cunt that we ran into back at Ishgard or something. Then why would they burn the contract? Oh my god, this is such a mess! What a fucking mess of a quest! All we had to do was filch a special sword from the Holy See, for the purse you offered me and stolen the whole Bladen Vault. And who's this one? I know who the woman is. Part of those we didn't ask no... What do you mean you didn't ask no questions? You saw her, didn't you? Even the merchant didn't know her real... You did... Oh! It was odd-eye, but we needed the coin, and it didn't rightly care either way. So the merchant showed up with a woman he didn't know. Why would the woman go through a merchant? So do we need to go back to the merchant and ask him now? The job itself was as easy taking a piss. Yeah, breaking into Ishgard. Your limbs of pirates traveling to Ishgard and then breaking in with stolen guns to unlock a door. That was easy. Into a secure location heavily guarded by guards that weren't there for some reason. She even paid for me to have a firearm. So she did. It makes it worse! The gods only know how she managed the trick. We didn't see no guard. Yes. Thank you. At least that. At least that. Yeah, it's a conspiracy against the Machinist Guild. I know. There cannot be any... The second that the woman showed up, conveniently, hey, isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy, guys, that the Machinist Guild could be implicated in this thievery that's going on? Oh, I just might faint. Better leave. And then she walks off. I wonder what's going on here. Crazy. Crazy the stuff that's going on. What's going on? It's crazy. Even though... There's so many things wrong with this quest. I would need to make a whole video detailing all the things that are wrong with everything that's going on. She gave the blade back to you. He apparently met with her directly despite not knowing who she is. Pushed the sword back into me hand along with the sack full of coins. Said she made a mistake or something. Why would she even need to do that? All she would need to say is, I'm paying you money to steal the sword. After you've done that, you can do whatever the hell you want to with it. There was no need for him to bring it back to her. Like, this whole plot element does not need to exist. She made a mistake or something, need to sell the damn thing. Ain't full enough to try the fence and a relic like that on me, so I went back to the brush. She could have just told him, just throw it into a canyon or something. I don't care. Throw it into the snow and let the snow down on it so no one can find it ever again. I don't care. You were fool enough to not properly... You were full... They're actually gonna bring up the contract. You were fool enough to not properly burn your contract of sale. Why? How do you think we found you the first time? Why did you have a... You're a bandit. Why did you have a contract of sale? A contract with a woman you don't know the name of. How did you even make a contract with someone who you don't know? Contract of sale? What the hells are you talking about? Thank you! At least something. Why would anyone make a contract? You think I'd leave a deal like that in ink for the whole world to see? Yeah! Isn't it like this is... Why would someone leave evidence leading back? This is the only thread. This is the only thread of logic that is taking us back to that lady, who is just going to be that lady. Why would someone intentionally leave evidence implicating themselves? Things are starting to make sense now. This is just one little problem, only one, with your story. It was that winch that put us up to it, okay. I believe what catches me in a crawl is her reason for handing back the sword. That was no mistake. It was, and us finding the contract to sell this bastard was no mistake either. We were led by the notes to reclaim Grunting before it was sold, and the quickest way to learn the why of it might have been to ask the blade itself, would you mind carting this piece of offal back to Ishgard? Offal is like entrails, by the way. So we're just not going to follow up on that. Come with me, Dustin. We need to pay a visit to Muscadine and convince him to take a closer look at that sword. It's either going to be the dumb woman or it's going to be Muscadine. Take a closer... Why would he need to take a closer look at the sword? Unless the sword itself is a fake, I guess? But he's the one that stole it. Which means that the only time that they could have switched out the swords, if it is a fake, I have no idea where this is going. All I know is that it's either Muscadine or the woman that's the one that is doing this. Which would mean that they would have had to replace the original actual sword with a fake, and this is a fake that we've been carrying around the whole time. Why do you still have the sword? Convince Muscadine to take a closer look at the sword. Wouldn't giving the sword back be the first thing you did? Have you actually just been carrying it around and keeping it the whole time? What is going on? You just stay here and look sad. Why would we not go back to the original guy that we just left and say, hey, the lady that you were with at the time, who is that? And even if you don't know, describe to us what the lady looks like. Did she have an accent? No, let's go back to Muscadine and have him examine the sword for some reason. Like, I get, they have a copy of the plot. Like, they're reading the script and they're saying the sword's going to be a fake. Let's have him, like, let's go talk about the sword now. But there's no reason to logically talk about the sword. God damn this writing. Holy fuck almighty. The problem with writing a mystery story is that the mystery has to make sense. You can't... And it has to make sense in sequence. That's the important thing. You can't just lay the whole thing out for yourself and then go, I need to get from point A to point B. So I'll just do what the fuck ever to make sure all the characters move on the path that I want them to move. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. They just need to get from point A to point B. That's a bad mystery. That's a bad how it do. They don't think it be like it. They don't think it be like it do, but it is, or whatever the fuck that poor man said. Oh, I don't remember what his name is, but his hair was fantastic. Oh man,
Amazing.
things are really coming together, aren't they? Things are starting to make sense. The thing is, most players would not care about any of this because they're not reading it. Most of the quests in this game, you get off your bike, your chocobo, and you like just mash through the dialogue, and you just look at keywords like sword, fake, bandit leader, okay, and then you see what the next quest map marker is, and you just go there. That's how the majority of players play the game. Like, they're not actually investing themselves in... Like, today I was going to go through the main quest. I didn't even want to do the machinist thing. I was just like, oh yeah, that thing. Before I started the stream, I was like, oh yeah, I guess I can knock that out of the park right away. I didn't expect to start enjoying myself. Like, I'm starting to enjoy the anger. When this is finally all... Like, I hope that it... Like, the primary thing I'm trying to get, even if it, like, actually ends up making some degree of sense, I want to make it clear that the events that are, like, we're moving across the dotted line, right? The dots don't make any sense. Like, the huge leaps in logic and the what? Why would they do that? All that stuff in between makes no sense at all. The motivations of, well, I want to implicate the machinists because fuck them. Fuck them. Like, sure, that makes sense. It's generic and it's not interesting, but it makes sense. How may I... Oh, you again. Was there some choice insult you've forgotten to spit at me during previous meeting? Like, the hatred between these two is so overt that it makes me think that he's not responsible because it would be too obvious. But it also would be bad writing for it to be too obvious. So like, that's actually throwing me off. The writing is so bad that I don't know what's going to happen. Oh, my character is explaining things. I see, so you believe that Hrunting may have been altered in some fashion before you were allowed to reclaim it. So it's not that it's a fake, so much as it was altered? What is it, a bomb now? Why would she even think this? Whatever. She saw the script. It's a bit too bloody convenient, don't you think? It's like rain. Maybe I'm wrong. But I'd rather look the fool than think... So she did give it back. We need to check that sword. So he does have it. I must admit your passion confounds me. The blade is recovered and your hounds have done their duty. Why bother pursuing such a faint suspicion? Well, willingly... Is it good... I'm guessing that the logic is going to be she wants, or he, or whatever, wants to, via crazy logic, implicate that during the course of the investigation you got the sword back and then switched it for a fake so that you could keep it or something. But then wouldn't it just be, oh, well, you wanted us to find the fake because you wanted to double implicate so that you can make yourselves look good or something? Fuck this shit. I hate your bleeding gums when we do the damn thing right. Yeah, okay. Me. This is okay. Roar? She's noble? Such pride. I've not seen that. You've seen nothing but her pride. That's why you don't get along. It is as you say. If there truly is some flaw or trickery in the blade that disrupts the ceremony, the consequences... Oh yeah, we're doing this for a ceremony. I guess once they knight people, then they will just explode. Or it'll turn them into demons that we'll have to fight, or something like that. I have 3 viewers, according to Twitch, by the way. I've leveled plenty of classes, yeah. It turns out that the sword is a gun! And yet there are rules in place which prevent me from simply handing Grunting over to the hounds. Just bring it out and let us look at it. You don't have to give it to us. Furthermore, our resident blacksmith has already inspected the recovered weapon and declared it as sound. Okay? So I guess the blacksmith is in on it now? Like, we already have... Like, Hilda's already read the script, so we already know that something's wrong with the sword. For some reason. So if the blacksmith sees that there's nothing wrong with it, either he is also responsible for this, so there's a huge conspiracy. By the way, I will point out, there was absolutely... There were, like, whenever this happened, we just so happened to be there. We were not involved in any way. So if this is actually some sort of weird conspiracy against us specifically, if we had not been here, just so happened to have been here at the time, and decided, hey, let us take over the investigation, then, like, this whole thing would have fallen apart. So this has to be completely unrelated to us in order for this to work. I will remind you. Surely, the writing cannot be that bad. It just can't. Surely the writing cannot be so bad that the person that came up with it didn't think of that. So surely this has nothing to do with us, and this is just a quest about us looking good. Even so, are we going to break in and examine the sword by force? I will call upon Lord Stevenivian to conduct an independent examination. A machinist may notice a detail that a blacksmith would overlook. I trust this to be accomplished with the requisite discretion. Yeah, sure, why not? Very good. As far as the release of Grunting is concerned, the manufactory is a sanctioned facility. The bureaucrats will be satisfied, even should I secure the necessary permissions at the factory for being making the arrangements. So he's just going to fucking do it, and then we'll ask for permission afterwards. Cool. So I guess he's in the clear as far as, like, writing goes, because now he's like, oh, Hilda's kind of fuckable. So we're fine now. Well, that's that then. Let's go back to the room and the news wets his face. Off we go. And Dusty's just gonna stand there for some reason. Cool. It's all coming together now. Wait, here? Oh. Okay, I'll walk over here then. It's all coming together now. I know all storylines are not written by the same person. That is very obvious. Some are like, that's pretty interesting. This is cool. Wow, that's a really nice emotional moment for these characters. And some are like, what the fuck am I looking at? A lot of the times in games like this, the quest line, they have like a couple of dedicated writers, and then a lot of quest lines are just written by programmers and some of the map makers and artists, because why the fuck not? It's just some shit that we have to pump out, so just do whatever. Buscadian's not known for his love of the lowborn. I didn't expect I thought I'd have to put up more of a fight, is what I'm saying. So maybe he's implicated too. Well, the swords with the manufacturer no compliance and against no be wait. Don't get too comfortable, okay. I'm actually sort of invested now because I want to be right about how stupid this is. New stuff! I get to burn people now! Oh, and new machinist stuff. I wonder what that looks like. We've just had a messenger from the manufacturer. He's going to finish looking on the store. Let's go over there now. Okay, good. Let's go! Let's go back to the manufacturer. Going back to Kelly. I will give this... Like, this has been convoluted and hasn't made any sense, but things are actually happening, sort of. The Paladin one, nothing happened. Like, not a goddamn thing happened. And it was obvious the whole way through what was actually happening. The guy isn't actually dead, and he's trying to teach this little dipshit how to be a true Paladin along the way. And that's it. And then at the very end, you're like, oh, he wasn't dead the whole time. Wow. Also, Paladin gemstones force us into proving what true alpha gamers we are. Everyone fight. Everyone fight right now. That was the Paladin questline. All the relevant parties appear to be present if you would. I'll cut straight to the point. I discovered a... I'll cut straight to the point. I discovered a small bomb concealed inside the hilt of the sword. I guess the blacksmith didn't know that you could just... There's a mechanism within every sword where you can just detach... How much do you guys know about swords? Here's the thing. In the construction of a sword, there's the blade, right? Big, long blade. At the end of the blade, it doesn't just stop. At the end of the blade, there's actually a smaller area where it narrows. I can't remember what its name is. But it narrows, and then there's a longer sort of filament section that's just solid metal. Because there has to be, right? And that part is what goes inside the hilt and the handle. It goes all the way down here. Right? You can't put anything inside that. You can't put anything inside of that area. Not even a bomb. Not even a magic bomb. Nothing can go in there. You can't do that. Maybe at like... you wouldn't have a hollow bit at the end either. Because that's just bad design. You'd have shit rattling. Like, there's no room for any of this. And even if it's like magic, they're magic swords and they don't have this stuff, right? And it's a really big hilt. Even if that's were the case. Like, which end do they go in? Do they go inside, like, the place where it intersects? Or... Like, if they didn't use that technology, then there wouldn't even be a hole there. It would just be a solid... It would be a solid structure. Oh my god. Well, that's the pommel. Like, that part of the blade reaches down into where the pommel is. It's a very... Like, it has to be a very deep intersection of those 2 points. That's how you make a sword. God, that's a lot of lettuce. It doesn't go... It depends on the sword, but it doesn't go all the way down to the very bottom, like where you... Where, like, the actual, like the end where you pommel strike with. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom. So there'd be, like, that much on some swords where you could fit something in, maybe. But ignoring all that, that is a small bomb. It's a magic bomb, though. Probably. I have a sandwich. Arrgh. The tang, yeah. That's called a tang. What was the plan?
Amazing.
It's a knighting sword. It's a knighting sword. It's not used for anything else. You don't do hard, like, strikes with it. All you do is you have a guy down here, and you take your sword, and you're like, good job. And then that's it. If there's a bomb inside the sword, how would you activate it? Like if it's something, if it's like a clay thing, like something, it's a substance that when it hits something, then it explodes or something. Like that would be somewhat reasonable. So you'd say, well, if it's a sword meant for combat, then the guy goes for a pommel strike or something, and he hits it and he blows up. That would make sense. But does it have like a radio transmitter inside of it? So that the old lady can be like, bomb, blow yourself up now, while he's knighting the dude. And the bomb's like, fuck yeah. And then it blows up or something? Whatever. I love this quest now. This quest is amazing. Yeah. Yeah. It's magic. You'll send magical ether signals to the hidden magic tiny bomb, which will cause, I'm guessing, the guy who's... How big of an explosion is this going to make? Is it this easy to make explosives that can kill someone? That small? Why aren't people using this all the time? That sounds great! You take one of these things and just throw it over there. Like, it could be the most effective grenade ever, because you could throw like millions of them. Just, like, launch like a big catapult full of these things. This technology is great! Oh my. A bomb, you say? This particular explosive was part of a batch intended for Temple Knight training purposes. What? And it's designed to be detonated from a distance. Sure. I won't bore you with the specifics because I don't have them. But I assure you, I'm quite familiar with its capabilities. Trust me, stop asking questions. We could sit here with salt shakers all day talking about magic bombs. After all, I was the one who made it. What? Do another shot. Oh, okay. I was expecting them to all do that again. Someone went through a lot of trouble to sneak that bomb into the ceremony. An assassination attempt. Why was he making bombs? Unlikely. As I said, these bombs were designed for training exercises. This bomb is a modified magic bomb based on a bomb of my design. But the bombs that I designed do go in sword hilts. They do go there, but they're training bombs. Even if you were grasping the hilt when it exploded, when the hilt explodes, you wouldn't even lose a finger. Training bombs. Some nasty burns at the worst. Some third-degree burns. They're training bombs. Stop being a pussy. Buscading. Ah, yes, training bombs. That would be more than enough. If the sacred... sacred bombs, I'm sorry. If the sacred blade were to be dropped during the investitures, meaning the crowd would interpret that as a sign from the Fury. Oh, is that what it is? The Lord Commander's authority would come into question, and responsibility for the incident will fall squarely upon the hounds. So the plan is for someone to drop the sword enough that there's a little spark in the hilt? So that people would say, ooh, it's a sign from God that these guys suck. That's the plan? This quest is so stupid. This might be the stupidest quest in the whole game. There's others that I hate more by a wide margin. And there's some that are way more annoying. But just in terms of it this being stupid. This has been probably the stupidest quest. If someone wishes to discredit the watch beyond salvation, that's how they'll do it. Making a sword drop itself a firecracker. That would explain the ridiculous rumors presently circulating amongst the lords and ladies. Rumors? What rumors? Please, please be stupid. God, I love this quest now. Why, that Hrunting's theft and recovery was orchestrated entirely by the watch itself. So him. Like, he's the one being implicated then. Oh boy. Some of the more impressionable members of the nobility are, why would such a rumor even spread? Some of the impressionable members of the nobility are convinced you armed bandits with firearms. How would they get firearms? They would have to come from you. Instructed them to steal the sword, then capture them. Why would they give them firearms? Why would the rumor be that they got firearms from people that don't have firearms to unlock a door that if they were the ones responsible, they could have just given them the key to? Because that would only serve to implicate them in the thing that they themselves would be trying to implicate themselves in doing. Instructed them to steal the sword, then capture them yourselves to elevate your standing. Then the mood's already sour and simmering. I'll say. If the sword exploded on top of that, it'd be like throwing oil on the fire. Reason be damned. It'd be the watch's eds on the chopping block. This quest is so stupid! It's great! So, if during the course of all this knighting ceremony, if someone were to drop the sword and a firecracker went off, then people would be so upset by that they would take the head of the watch and put them to death. That's the plan. Who could have instigated the gossip between these baseless accusations of exploding firecracker swords? I ordered the events surrounding Hrunting's theft to be kept in strictest of confidences. Really? We've been running all over the planet telling people about it. Who began the rumors? The woman who arranged the theft? Or a nameless, treacherous temple knight? You know, I honestly don't know anymore. Who began the rumors? This plan is so convoluted that it's really hard to tell. I can't even tell who this really benefits anymore. I don't even know what this quest is even about anymore. A lady arranged for the theft of a sword so that... Can I point out? she hired bandits, gave them guns via all this stuff, told them steal the sword. They went and stole the sword. They didn't do anything to it. And then they went and showed it to her, and she's like, nah. They somehow found her and, like, did a contract. Forget all that. I've already covered that. And she said, no, I don't want it. At what point did the sword get altered with a bomb? It would have to have been before all this even happened. Which means that implicates the only people that could gain access to the sword while it was being protected would be, like, the people guarding it, which would be a temple knight. Right? But at the same time, if it's, like, sitting on a pedestal or something, then if anyone, like, requisitions it and takes it in order to modify it, someone would know. Because you saw what a huge deal they made out of it before about, well, the only way that you could see it is if I signed all these papers and did all this other shit. And it wasn't until he said, alright, I'll just give it here and then I'll ask permission later. And that's the easiest way of dealing with it. That means that this is all impossible. None of this ever could have happened. The only way that this would work is if the entirety of the temple knights themselves are the ones responsible. It would have to be a very high-ranking female temple knight in order for all this to work together at the same time. So the true answer would have to be a treacherous temple knight. Right? Or maybe all of them are rigged to explode. No. She didn't put a bomb inside the sword whenever they gave it to her. What did they hand it to her and she's like, oh, very nice. No, I don't want it. And then they just didn't notice. I mean, I guess if the bandits, like, went there, gave her the sword, and then were, like, leaving, and she just did it real fast while they weren't looking, and then she ran out with the sword and said, don't leave. I put a bomb... just take the sword back. No, I reject that. That's stupid. They said nothing about leaving and then coming back or meeting her a second time. No, I reject all your explanations. You are wrong. Treacherous Temple Knight, I will say this. It's probably wrong, but I'll say it. But I'm more inclined to blame him this fool of a client who started this whole mess. So, she's behind the times. Hilda, you're not thinking about this as much as I am. Which is probably to your benefit, because you have the script. I suspect this villainous fears a threat to the status quo. Who does this benefit? Because if this happens... If people get angry about the sword having a firecracker inside of it, then the people that would be blamed would be the people that allowed it to be stolen in the first place. So if someone was within the watch itself, and they're a high-ranking official, they would only serve to implicate themselves and put their heads on the chopping block. The only person that this would benefit would be people that are part of the old church, and the old church doesn't even exist anymore. It was separated from the state. This wouldn't benefit anyone. I know it's a machinist quest, so via some convoluted logic, it's supposed to somehow damage us. Before I know, we become so important, she picked the wrong pack of dogs to corner. Yeah, it somehow affects us. Let's go with the master bound, and we need the description over painted winch. I can never get tired of the prospectometer. One step ahead of you this time. As soon as I discovered the bomb, I set to work as a crafting device that would help us pinpoint the location of its paired detonator. So yes, it does have a detonator. It has a kill switch. And thus lead us directly to the one who holds it. I propose we simply proceed to the ceremony's plan and catch this fool red-handed. That is a terrible idea. Let's just let them have the bomb. Not a bad plan. As long as we're prepared for any accomplices she might have lurking... Let's stay far away from this explosive sword. Actually, I have a better idea. Remove the bomb from the sword, and then throw the bomb, like, off a cliff. The ceremony is almost upon us. Let us steel ourselves for the task ahead. Please keep the bomb in the sword, so that something stupid can happen. We'll sort of stretch and head back to the room. Meet us when you are ready. Cool. Dear God, I hope the payoff to this is, like, the most colossally dumb thing in the world. Yeah. Okay. Wait, where are we going? Oh, it's just over there. I'll just walk. Fuck it. Yeah. So this technically is the start of Stormblood quest, I think. So all the church shit is done. Like, there's still hangers on, I assume, but there's no, like, active, like, church presence exactly. Let's get any other hands we handle security as handle so not to arouse suspicion. We reckon the lady will have someone watching the proceedings, ready to tell... It'd be great if we got there and it wasn't a lady at all, it's just a guy in a wig. Of course! It all makes sense now. We reckon the lady will have someone watching the proceedings ready to tell her the best moment to detonate that little bomb, likely right as the blade rests on an initiate's shoulder. Like, are they trying to kill the initiate? Or... That's how I'll do it anyhow. That's how I would do it. The watcher shouldn't be hard to spot. We'll be waiting. Okay. Bring your best ammunition. Oh, bring my best ammunition. As I recall, the thing on my like hip is what makes the ammunition using ether. So there's no best ammunition. It's all magic. This woman can organize a clear route through the vault. Then she's like to have worse than a few ragged bandits on her side. Yeah, she would have to be someone very, very high-ranking. Oh, I'm just going to fight. Okay. They love using that same car jack. That little thing, that little model. The thing that looks like a car jack. They use it constantly for various things. It's adorable. What's taking so long, boss? The ceremony has already begun. You're not incompetent, are you? Some quiet, if you will. I have it. The signal came from the far edge of the room. So it already happened? They're not even going to show the ceremony. So the only thing we're actually seeing is just them gathering around this carjack, going, a ceremony's happening off screen. It just happened. Alright, let's go find him. Cool. Great scene. Fucking excellent. Yes, the dumb cunt. This is Melissy. Is the crowd enjoying a little what? Nothing. Not even a puff of smoke? I really wish it had been so stupid that they just kept the bomb inside the sword. That would have been fucking amazing. The hounds! Damn you and your Scooby-Doo antics! I know you. You're that noble bitch what ignored me outside the vault. In the right place at the right time to plant that bandit rumor. The bandit rumor? Oh, they got the initial rumor about... What? She was the one that mentioned... No, she just said... No. She did say that in the scene. She said in the scene that she had heard from a merchant, traveling merchants, that there were gunshots in a general area. So that was her hint for you to go looking for a contract that she placed, which led you to her. So she manipulated Hilda into discovering her identity. Great plan. Like, I get it. The whole idea is that she manipulated her into finding, like, the sword so that it could be taken back. There are so many other ways she could have handled this. Like, if she has enough... If she has enough access to this place that she's in control of, like, the guards, she could just say, have them bring me the sword while you're on duty, and I'll modify it, and then we'll put it back. And then that will be the end of it. No one will ever even know that it happened. And that's it. That's all she had to do. And if she doesn't have that level of control, and she actually does need it for it to be stolen, just say, steal the sword, bring it to me, and then you, like, act like you're taking it to a buyer. And then, like, get caught briefly, like, throw the sword to get away, and then just leave. Or, you know, something of that nature. This whole leaving the contract and, like... The fact that she left so many loose ends to follow because they don't know where all this information came from. There's so many merchants involved, too. Whatever. Okay. You're the one that did all this stuff, right? It was Paige all along. I knew it. What nonsense is this? I have no memory of fraternizing with commoners. He's so stupid! I love it. This is terrible. A good thing, too, since I've a wagon load more questions for you. Here's one. Are your Inquisitor friends... There is no Inquisition anymore. It was just... They're going to come quietly. There is no more Inquisition. That was dissolved. You and your hounds will be the only ones surrendering their arms this day. So is this the guy that's the one in charge? So the Temple Knights are involved. I was right. Not only have you interfered with the official inquisitorial business, there is no Inquisition. You've also insulted and accused an innocent member of the nobility. Mayhap a spell in the dungeons will remind you of your station. I see here the hounds have solid evidence that these individuals are party to a serious crime. Speak with Master Muscadine and all will be explained. No reason. We're obviously involved. Time to murder. Surely murdering a bunch of Temple Knights and a high-ranking official in something, that will clear everything up. Now we meet the rest of the rats. I was wondering... Stop doing that. I was wondering how the noble wench got hold of a training bomb or cleared a route through the vault for them bandits. And there's your answer. Here's your answer. I reckon they show their whiskered sooner or later. If you had access that you could clear a route to the vault, you never needed to involve bandits! You're sworn to protect Ishgard. You choose to throw in your lot with this highborn dolt. So Emmeric's fighting to keep the city from tearing itself apart. Why don't you just stab a blade in his back while you're at it? My hand smells. The time for empty bravado has passed, child. We are not common savages. Give yourselves up, and I promise you shall live to see tomorrow. Yeah, we're just going to murder all of you. Why do these people... Like, the Warrior of Light is just standing there. Someone that has been known to do battle with dragons. Like, the dragon that led the war on Ishgard for 1,000 years was personally killed by the person that's just standing right there. Like, turn yourselves in and we'll show you mercy. Oh yeah, me. You're like, bitch, I'm like right fucking here. Like, do you really think you have a chance at all of any of this going through? Even tastes good. Don't worry, I'll handle it. You do it, Hilda. You're good. You're good on it. They just didn't recognize us. That's true. We had the look of a commoner. They can't be bothered to remember what a mere commoner looks like. What is your plan? To show up with 4 additional guys? You think your band of 4 dudes could beat Nidhogg? Oh, it's the Godslayer. Hit her with a spear. That'll do it. Here, have a present for you. They feel good? Yeah, you're gonna do it, buddy. Just chase me around for a bit. That'll do it. Come and get me. Yeah, you got me. You're good. Alright, this is going great. This is a good plan you guys had. I'll fuck up my combo. Why not? Yeah, okay. Good plan. Unfortunately, I don't get to actually attack her. Oh my. Here we go again. That went well. Wait. Where's the noblewoman? Remember the one that I pointed to and was like, we can't hit her yet? We don't know where she went. Who knows? The winch must have slipped away while we was in the thick of it. She can't have gotten far. Well, just... during the course of the fight, like, first thing that happens, script her to turn around and run away and, like, do that ghost vanishing thing. So at least there's some semblance of continuity. Or, alternatively, just delete her character model from the scene as, like, before the fight even starts. Just don't include her. Don't include her in the fight. At least then you can say, well, just as things were getting started, then she vanished somewhere. Or something. Anything. Something more... she's just there. We have guns. We have guns. Where are these 2 fucks looking? There she goes. Where? These low-born ruffians seek to cause me harm. Oh, it's just Musket. Okay, alright. We don't have to do anything else. Let's dispense with the theatrics, Baroness Melisy, or whatever your name is. After capturing your accomplice at the ceremony, it was surprisingly easy. That's all it took to prize free the details of your plan. That's all it took to unravel all this. Just The guy that was doing the spotting work, I guess. We just captured him and he just told us everything. You have sided with these common curs? I thought you a proud member of the nobility. As one of the chosen few, how can you... Like, this would only negatively affect him. Again, what was even her plan? Again, this doesn't really implicate anyone in anything. If the firecracker sword went off and people are like, oh no, God does not approve of knighting more knights? Like, the new order? Is that what this is about? Are people supposed to make the link of, oh no, God doesn't like the new government? Like, that's a huge jump, and I'm assuming that's what the plan is supposed to be? Then that would do nothing except for negatively affect not only the nobility, like her, this would affect her negatively as well, but it would also negatively affect him. So why would he throw in with this? Why would the people that are helping her also throw in with it? This doesn't help anyone. All it does is just make everyone think, oh man, everything sucks. God doesn't approve of anything that's happening. The chosen few, an excellent... Yeah, okay, I get it. Your actions brand you, and you will pay for your crimes. What, you gonna murder her? She's just some lady. Why are you pulling out weapons? This is blasphemy. Oh, she's an inquisitor. Wait, she's an inquisitor? Whatever. You betray your bloodline, and thus it falls to me to excise the corruption seeping in our nation's vein. Wait, I'm actually gonna fight this dumb cunt? Fantastic. Alright, I guess I have to kill her. I wonder what her thoughts on drills are. Oh, actually, she has quite a bit of health. She's a very healthy lady, isn't she?
I see you.
Oh, she's going to turn into a dragon now. I probably could have stopped that, actually. So she was a dragon all along, a dragon worshiper that that gained the support of the Inquisition itself, which is an anti-dragon, like, church-led league of dragon haters, in order to reinstigate a war with the dragons. I guess that she just really wanted the war to continue because of Nidhogg's hate? Is that what this is supposed to be about? Sure, it's taking a while to get rid of her, though. You have defiled my beloved Ishgard. I will turn the city to ash. So she's lamenting the loss of Ishgard itself. God. She's lamenting the loss of Ishgard itself. Holy shit. Why is she doing so much goddamn damage? Really? Okay. Tell you what, I guess I'll summon my Chocobo. That'll do it. Oh, I have to redo the whole thing. Holy shit. But this is a level 70 quest, I guess. Well, I had to run through the fire to be able to get out of the area. Doesn't help that I'm not paying much attention to any of it. Yeah, some machinist job quest. Not the best one. That was a weird jump in difficulty, too. Because this is, like, this is nothing. Like, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Then that one is just turns. There she is. Don't lose track of her. Where'd she go? She vanished. We lost track of her. Oh, whoop. Shouldn't have gone in the first person. I wonder if I can actually interrupt that. She'll probably try to use it again. On normal, like, whatever they're called. On normal heretics, you can actually interrupt their cast. Not gonna be able to do that, apparently. Since fat dumbasses are outside screaming at the top of their lungs. It isn't. She doesn't really seem to be having much of an effect on the other ones.
One shot, one kill.
Don't say that. I should be using this more often. Where's that? Oh, that's them using something. Okay. I'm really not that. I have not been used Machinist in a long time, it feels like. Because I've been working so much on trying to get Dark Knight up. Despite not actually wanting to play it. So I'm really out of habit. But I've never developed a habit of using Barrel Stabilizer. Which makes this feel extra strange. What? What are they saying? It doesn't say. Okay. I'm guessing, yeah. Oh, okay. It doesn't show. You guys can see it down here. But it. Oh, do they all. Okay, Hilda did, okay. It doesn't show what the recent dialogue options were in the bottom of the chat. Despite it being in the event window. What's going on? Why are they... Did the... Whoa! Okay, the internet apparently went out. That's what happened. Which might mean that OBS disconnected. I have no idea. Maybe that was a local server problem. God damn it. Did that actually do anything? No, it's still fine? Okay. Alright, they really... That fucked me up. Cute. Not that it would have mattered anyways, I guess. This problem with streaming, you have to worry about too much bullshit at the same time. Especially if some idiot outside is raving about the government or something. Like, I'm supposed to be reading what they're saying as, like, prompts to tell me what to do during the fight, but I can't really do that at the same time.
Is that all you've got?
What is he using?
Right there!
Yeah, it doesn't actually say. I'm used to Guild Wars where if something... Like, everything in Guild Wars is a skill. So whenever an enemy does anything at all, it actually shows you exactly what the name of it is, and if you move your mouse over it, it'll tell you exactly what it does. Which would be super useful in this game, but, you know, it doesn't work. I did drop... God damn it. I did drop a bunch of frames, though. Not too many, yes. You stop it.
See you.
Nah, it doesn't have any effect. Alright, so that does nothing in terms of stopping that. Good to know.
One shot, one kill.
Something about that line in particular makes me laugh. Like how completely applicable it happens to be to this method of combat. Plus it being so, like, arrogant and self-assured. Okay, does it actually say anything? I don't like I don't like the looks of that fireball. Do something. Sure, it's taking a while to get rid of it.
Let's finish it.
Okay, anything else? I guess not. Okay. It shouldn't be... I keep looking down at OBS because I keep thinking that I'm losing connection. Which is not a good feeling. What? What is that, anyways? It's you? You're doing something? Bleeding. I thought that examining that would explain what exactly was going on, but it did nothing.